Hey guys, Kelade here. As this week is Skittish week in Mythic Plus, I wanted to dive into the mechanic and help show you guys examples of how ridiculous this can get for fewer warriors and raises awareness. Hopefully you guys can share this video, get the word out there to Blizzard that it does get pretty ridiculous for fewer warriors during Skittish weeks. So right here, right off the bat, you're gonna see the rogue goes over and attacks that mob on the left with a Garrote and other people AoEing him. I did not do a single point of AoE. I literally bloodthirsted another mob and I somehow pulled aggro on a guy that I didn't even touch and DPS in any regard of the fight. Right? So, of course in Skittish you can't just walk up to a pack of mobs and AoE right off the bat. So I'm holding as much time as I can before I use Battlecry and Odin's Fury, but even then, I'm still going to pull aggro, right? Obviously, there's a lot of things that we could have done slightly better in the dungeon, but it shouldn't take an entire group just because you're playing a one spec, right? We already have a rogue that has tricks. We have a hunter that has misdirect. Of course, it would have been better if he was marked instead of BM. That would have been an upgrade in regards to Skittish. But we had a Demon Hunter last time, and it wasn't as big of a problem. Now, of course, I don't group with this tankers too much. I generally have Posies, my girlfriend, tank for me, so she kind of knows how a field warrior works better. But even then, like it shouldn't require every single person working with the group just so I don't pull threat. And you guys are gonna see this here in the next pull. I'm gonna walk up, I'm gonna just bloodthirst a guy, and I'm gonna press two whirlwinds. These are unenraged, unfrothing berserker, no backcry up, just blanket whirlwind, doing no DPS. You guys can see how low my DPS is there. How am I pulling aggro in this situation, right? The tank is AoEing. So, I mean, these are pretty basic examples. Now, of course, if your tank is really, really good, they have all their shit together. If they're a main tank, they have the golden trait, they have 3 out of 3, thrash relics and all that jazz, that these pulls won't be an issue, right? But we're going to get into more examples later on in this video where it gets pretty ridiculous with how Skittish is going to work. So we do, of course, if I die and I come back, I generally don't pull aggro, but I don't show in this video, but there are instances where I actually still pull aggro even afterwards. So right here, we're pulling this pack over here to the right side. I'm AoEing, letting my tank get as many thrash like stacks as he can. These mobs are half HP. I'm like, all right, they're half HP. Let me burst them. Bam. Press my burst. Battlecry, Rampage, Odin's Fury, and whatever trinkets active I have. Instant aggro. They all turn on me. Instant death. This is how it was before in patch 7.1.5 if the tank didn't know what they were, even if the tank knew what they were doing. Now in 7.2 it's gotten a little bit better, but if the tank isn't fully aware of what viewers can do, that can be an issue. Here's just another example of me doing the same thing where I'm walking around, sometimes not even auto attacking mobs and just pressing whirlwind, not even trying to get in range for berserker. Once they're half HP, let me burst them down. Nope. Instant aggro, and I'm not sure if I die here, but I do get pretty close. No, I think I do end up living here because he managed to pull the other two mobs, but of course, with 3 mobs, he can't pull all of them off. So it is getting pretty ridiculous how much that would generate, especially if the tank is unaware. Alright, so right here on Herja, generally bosses shouldn't be a problem with Skittish because your tank can see your threat increase, right? And also this is 10% into the fight. Like this is not, oh, I popped my cooldowns in the beginning unaware and I pulled aggro. This is, the boss is 10% HP, I pop back and draft, instant aggro, and I'm gonna die to the mechanic because she already targeted me. There's nothing that he can taunt back to get that off of me. And that's ridiculous, right? With the Skittish and with how we understand how Skittish works, it's just a reduction on tank threat. I shouldn't be pulling aggro at 10% HP when the tank has taunt up, or when the tank has had so much time to just continuously build up aggro, and the aggro has been going on for so long. My spike shouldn't be crazy. It shouldn't just be I press battlecore, I taunt, right? Like that mob is 10% HP. We be DPS are down for like 2 minutes. So this mob right here, this pool is actually ridiculous. I'm actually gonna slow it down in a second so you guys can see exactly what happened here, and it's gonna be pretty intense. So right before I slow it down, the tank is gonna pull these mobs, and I'm gonna pull in a mob just from an auto attack while the tank is actually splashing him. So you can see the tank pulls these mobs around the corner. I'm gonna wait for him to hit his thrash. Right, the thrash hits the mob. I auto attack, instant aggro. An auto attack from a non-buffed at all warrior should not pull aggro, but I am. Like that is absolutely ridiculous. You know, outside of what can I do that's not auto attack? I can literally sit there and watch the mobs, which you're gonna see here. I'm actually going to just stand here and watch the rest of my group play the game because I literally cannot participate. Because if I participate, I'm dead, right? So let's watch him pull these ads over here to him. So I mean, I'm gonna put a timer on the screen. You guys can see how long they're in combat for. I'm gonna eventually go in, you know, way after, oh, way after 10 seconds. We're gonna go in. We're like, all right, these guys are all half HP. I'm ready to go. Let's go burst them. Instant aggro. I'm dead before I can even get my shockwave out when they aggro. So Skittish as a mechanic is getting pretty ridiculous for Fury Warriors. Now, of course, if your tank is fully decked out, 10 out of 10 mythic gear, you know, he's like 920 item level with all of his thrash relics, with, you know, every trait that he can possibly get. Yeah, like this might not be as much of an issue, but there's no way Blizzard can be expecting that of every tank that is out there. So I think the threat that Fury Warriors are generating during Skittish is way too much because we already generate so much threat. I can actually generate enough threat on our Mythic Gul'dan kills in order to pull threat off of the tank. Like they have to work extra really hard just so I don't pull threat. I think as a baseline, you know, even if they don't change the way that Skittish works, they should really take a look at the way Fury Warriors generate threat and how ridiculous it can get, right? Because if I'm sitting and I'm just watching my group play for half of the fight, where I'm literally not doing anything, I shouldn't just come in when the mobs are half HP and instantly snap aggro. There is something definitely wrong with that. So I'm pretty sure most of you guys have experienced this to some extent as you're playing Fury Warriors and Mythic Plus. You know, our goal when Skittish comes out shouldn't be to switch to Prot or switch to play another character. Like, we should be able to do Mythic Plus, regardless of the mechanics. Yes, you know, if we have to take a Rogue and a Hunter to help with it, you know, if I have to, you know, not DPS as hard off the front, that's fine. But I will pull aggro every single time, no matter when I use Battle Cry on my warrior, no matter when. So that is pretty ridiculous. And I think hopefully you guys can get this word out there and get this in front of Blizzard. Let them know that, you know, the answer to Skittish shouldn't be to not play your Fear Warrior. As always, thanks for checking out this video, guys. Feel free to subscribe to see more content. See ya.